friends. Welcome to October. This is the reading for Aries for the first part of October. So let's see what the cards have to say. I will do this first shorter reading here on YouTube, and then I'm also going to start doing extendeds over on Patreon. So if you feel so inclined and you would like the additional information that the cards will have over there, feel free to follow after this video over to Patreon. And if not, if this is where we part ways, that's totally okay too. Sometimes the smaller message is all you need, right? And that's okay. All right, let's see. I'm hoping for about 3 cards from this deck. This will be the Rider-Waite Tarot. I find that it's a pretty good place to start on these general readings. Almost, not quite. Well, that was a lot of cards. And that was also a lot of cards. So, let's see what's going on here. I'm not going to make you watch a bunch of video of me shuffling. So, I will be right back with your cards. Okay, so we had the King of Swords pop out. And, the Five of Swords popped out. Half of your cards are swords, so you could be really up in your head right now. Could be something going on with communication, right? So that might play a part, but I just wanted to point that out while I was thinking of it. And then we had the Empress in reverse pop out with the Six of Cups right along with it, and both in the reverse. So we'll get to that. I'm going to start with the King of Swords, though. A lot of times when you get a figure like this, it can sometimes mean that, or I should say it can sometimes point towards someone in your life. So in this particular reading, I am getting the sense that it's probably you. Could be another character going on in your story too, whether that's your partner or just someone that you interact with a lot. Kind of a main character in your story, right? But I'm really getting the feeling that it's you. And with the King of Swords, he's, again, swords have to do with thoughts and communication. So it could be that you are in this space of like total clarity with your thoughts. You know where you're going, you know what you're doing. If there is communication to be had, you're not really shying away from it, and you're just really clear in those areas, and you know what you're doing. So that's a really great space to be in. Alternatively, with the Five of Swords there, let me go ahead and put that in the upright so you can see it here. It's kind of, I'm getting confrontation from that one. So these are kind of indirect opposites of each other right now. And what I'm feeling from it is that, while you're in this space of like really being clear and, I want to say strong and, in your truth, that kind of setting, maybe there's someone around you or just some situation that you're involved in right now that kind of wants to draw you into conflict. And especially like some kind of verbal conflict. So sometimes all that means is that there's some kind of miscommunication, right? So not necessarily like a violent butting of heads. It could just simply be someone misheard someone else, and now there's just kind of a ripple there, and there's some kind of instability, right? I'm getting the feeling, though, it's not really something that you want to confront right now. You're feeling good with where you're at in everything, and you are very focused on your own thoughts and communications and actions and things like that, where if there is something external going on right now, it's not really in your sphere of focus. And sometimes that's okay. With it coming up in the reading, though, I would caution you to maybe at least acknowledge it, okay? Sometimes what starts out as little miscommunications can turn into really big things, and that can be so unnecessary, right? It brings sometimes a lot of drama with it. Sometimes it can ripple out to where the other person or people involved talk about it with other people, and it ripples out in that way. So there's just a lot of ways where miscommunication on a very small level can turn into something a lot bigger of a problem, I should say. And obviously, with where you're at, I know you don't want to deal with it right now, but if you don't deal with it right now, you'll probably have to deal with it at some other point, and it's going to be a lot bigger of an issue that it's going to be harder to resolve. And it doesn't need to be. What I'm getting here is like it's not really a big problem. So just acknowledge it. See what you can do right now to address it, even just in some small way, right? You can tell your friend, I know that this is going on. I don't really want to talk about it right now. I don't see it as a problem. Can we table it? That way, at least there's that acknowledgement, and the person knows it's not just in my head. I'm not crazy. Something's going on, even if it's just on their end. Anyways, finally, we have the Empress in reverse and the Six of Cups in reverse. So I like to bring these up upright so that you can kind of see, you know, their natural energies. And I have a feeling that this Empress might be someone that you're dealing with. So where this King of Swords is very much in his truth, focused on communication, in his power, the Empress, whoever this may be in your life, maybe it's a partner, maybe it's a work associate, it could be your inner feminine power, and that's just a whole different thing. But regardless, that energy or person is feeling pretty topsy-turvy, pretty outside of their own power. And with the Six of Cups popping out with it, you know, it's like they're not acknowledging their own feelings. So when I say that it could be, you know, the feminine parts of yourself, it could just be that you stay so much in your masculine and so much in that logical thinking and communicating and trying to just stay on that even level plane where there's kind of more black and white and right and wrong, that sort of thing. And you're kind of pushing away this feminine side where, you know, if your emotions are not dealt with, or this person, if it's someone else, if emotions aren't dealt with, it's another thing kind of like what we were talking about here. Like, it festers and it can grow into a lot bigger of an issue, and it can come out in ways that don't even seem like they would be tied to those kinds of emotions, right? So if you're feeling like this is more the feminine side of you, and that energy is within you, where you're a person that really doesn't confront their emotions and maybe does feel kind of topsy-turvy on that front, it's just something to be aware of. You know, again, I mean, I'm getting this word awareness for this whole reading for you here. So maybe that's the big message for you here, or at least for someone that's watching this. Just to be aware of what's really going on, right? Sometimes when we stay in our logical place for so long and we are really trudging through with our thoughts and our communications and all of that, we can lose certain other aspects, or we can push out a lot of external things going on. So maybe just take a step back and see what's going on there with those different aspects, and see what you can do to acknowledge them, okay? If it's another person, maybe they just need a little bit of your time. So when you're in that logical space, again, it can be hard to assist someone or really take that time out and be present with those people who are in their emotional side, especially when they're struggling with it, right? But that's part of being human and having those connections. So take that time out because it's very valuable. Okay. We will clarify that more in Patreon, but for now I will pull an oracle deck from Notes from the Universe on Love and Connection, and we'll see what kind of additional guidance or advice the cards have for us here. There we go. It says that you have options is meaningful. Rock on. It says, if I could make just 2 wishes, I'd wish I could somehow convey to you the profound depths of my gratitude for every moment of your life. I'd also wish that you could somehow know of your unimaginable importance, just as you are now, to the lives of so very many. And of course, I'd wish for even more wishes. Oh, shoot! You are just such a good idea, the universe. So that's a pretty nice card. 2 things stuck out to me there. You do have options. There's different ways that you could go in here, and there will be pros and cons to your choices. We all know these, right? But the fact that you have options is a really cool thing. So if you're feeling overwhelmed right now with options and choices and all of that, and just kind of wanting to, I don't want to make those choices. I just want to keep going in the things that I'm doing, right? Just acknowledge that having choices is a really nice thing. Rock on, right? The other thing that really stuck out to me, though, is this card is talking about how much value you have in other people's lives. So that spoke to me with this. So for those people who this part of the reading spoke about someone else just kind of needing your time and needing maybe a little bit of your energy to talk about what's going on, or maybe get out some of the emotions that they're having trouble processing. Again, that's a really nice thing to have in your life, to be so regarded and to have those connections where people trust you in that manner. So if those people are meaningful to you, and if you would like to continue with those relationships in particular, make the time to be a valuable person and friend to them. And in this moment, that looks like emotional support. So even though this is where you're at, no matter where we're at in life, we can always offer some emotional support. Because at the heart of it, what that means is being present, even if not physically present. We can call them, we can Zoom, we can do a lot of things now, okay? Be present and listen. If you can do those 2 things, they might not need any feedback, they might not need any guidance. Just listen. It's so valuable. And you can even put a time limit on it. If you're feeling very rushed and you really don't want to be in that space, but you want to be there for your friend, carve out a half hour and tell them ahead of time, hey, I have a half hour, 5:30 tonight. Can we make that time? Is that okay? More than likely it is, even if it's 10 minutes. Being present with someone and having someone say, even though I'm really busy, even though I'm in this space here, I can make that time for you. There's no feeling like that. That's what friends are for. That's what the people in our communities are for, right? So step up and be that person if this person is meaningful to you, okay? Again, we will dive further into all of this. We'll do some clarifiers, might pull some more oracles. We'll just see where the reading goes. over on Patreon. Um, yeah, otherwise, thank you so much for being here, even if this is where we part ways. I very much appreciate your views, and I appreciate you showing up. Thank you. I hope to see you again soon, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Love ya.